Welcome again to another student swing analysis. This time we have a student, Chen Guo Shu, on the left. On the right, one of my favourite swings on the PGA Tour belonging to Ben Crane. The gentleman on the left, this again was his first lesson. He's an older gentleman, perhaps in his mid to late 60s. Has been playing golf for just 3 or 4 years, which is a little old as I'll take up the game, but he's still enjoying himself. And not really had too many lessons in the past, just been experimenting by himself, and came to me just to get some basic fundamentals in place so he could practice and enjoy his game a little more. Obviously, realistically, we're not going to make this player a very low handicap. He just wants to be able to play with his friends and hit some better shots and enjoy himself. So to do that, the first thing we did was we took an analysis of his golf swing and came up with a few suggestions for him. Now, address position, he's got a pretty nice width of stance for a full swing. He's got the ball positioned quite nicely. He actually had also a reasonably good grip. He's got a little bit of tilt in the body here. So I suspected he'd had some kind of instruction, and as I found out, he's read some books, he's watched some videos, but no real formal instruction from a teacher. Now, he tells me, like many golfers, especially older golfers like himself, he lacks club head speed, he lacks distance, and obviously that's something that many golfers suffer from, and the way he's trying to make up for his lack of distance is fairly evident in this golf swing. So let's take a look at it. As he starts to take away initially, you'll notice that there's a very early hinging or setting of the left wrist. The club is up in the air very quickly. You can also notice the head, which was already quite significantly behind the ball, is moving even more so behind the ball. So his head has actually now got out behind his back foot, which is going to obviously give some balance issues. The weight of his body is going to tend to favour the outside of his right foot, certainly potentially losing balance from this position. Also can see the very evident loss of gap between the knees. The left knee really kicks in a lot, suggesting a significant amount of turn through the hips and the pelvis. Now, what we're dealing here with Ben Crane, of course, is a younger, more athletic golf swing, but one that's containing one that's got less evidence of any sort of early hinge in the left wrist, more of a nice wide one-piece takeaway rather than this narrow position we've got here. Also one that obviously involves some rotation of the body, but the rotation is limited and it's restricted in the backswing. You'll notice here at the top of his backswing, he's sort of lifting his hands to get to the top. So my concern here is he's rotated his body perhaps too much. He's got really far out here behind the golf ball. His head is out behind the back leg. You'll notice Ben Crane's head, certainly whilst it's behind the ball, never gets out behind his right trail leg at any stage. That would obviously have a negative effect on his balance. Okay, you'll notice here as he works into the start of the downswing that he's swinging it down with his arms. His lower body sort of moves a little bit over into his left hip, not as much as I'd like it to. And he's kept his head quite a bit behind the ball, probably suggesting that he's not really got enough weight into his left side. So I would say through impact his weight is very centered. And you'll notice here he's right on impact position right here. His club's right on the ball at this stage, and that his hands are very much directly above the golf ball, indicating that there's probably no shaft lean, there's no forward lean on the shaft. You'll notice here as the tour player approaches the golf ball that there's quite an evidence of forward shaft lean, the shaft trailing behind the left arm. Now, this video unfortunately doesn't quite get exactly on the impact, but given that this forward lean of the shaft prior to impact and post impact, the shaft is quite vertical, we could go ahead and safely assume that impact would have been somewhere in this region here. That's partly due to the fact that you can see that Ben's lower body, moves into the left hip more. The lower body leads the upper body. The arms then pull the club down to the golf ball. This golfer on the left doesn't really have that move into the left side. Golfers who tend to over-rotate in the backswing tend to not store up much energy or resistance in the backswing. Therefore, the downswing energy has to come from the source of the arms and the hands. And you'll notice here that very soon at impact or straight after impact, that this left wrist just collapses and gives way. There's a lot of angle in this left wrist very early after impact. Sort of a flipping action of the hands, roll in the club face over. You'll see through impact, post impact. Much less use of the hands through the golf ball. A lot wider in the follow through as well. You see here classic flipping action of the hands to get the club there up in the air so quickly. Now I am aware, of course, this gentleman is a little older and perhaps a little bit less flexible, so I don't have any problem with him trying to turn his body more, but I actually think if he turned his body less, created a little bit of a wider golf swing and with a bit more width at the top and got him a bit more active with his body in the downswing, and of course we would need to work on the impact position, and the post-impact position is not really the problem. The post-impact position just shows us what's happened prior to getting to impact. So he's kind of throwing his club down, flipping the wrist through the ball. You see a lot of hand action there. So we took that first lesson. We looked at trying to improve his resistance in his body without, of course, creating any kind of injury. We actually shortened up his turn. We reduced how much he swung the club back, so his body started to perform more, a little tighter, more resistance, and also worked on shortening up and widening the backswing. The backswing is a little bit narrow. He sets the wrists very early. We've done 4 or 5 lessons so far. We've made some progress. His impact position with a shorter swing and the less club head speed is certainly improved, and we're hoping that will translate into his fuller swing as we go along with some more practice. Okay, there you have it. Be sure to take a look at the second part of this video analysis from the down the line view. Thank you.